Hello my friends, before I begin, I want you to know that this is a spoiler review. All MCU and Deadpool fans should avoid this spoiler-filled video. I will be talking about the plot and cameos deeply, so don't blame me later for revealing all the secrets.
Behind you look a little bit like Henry. Oh my!
We as fans have been waiting for Deadpool and Wolverine. The trailers, teasers, and posters along with all the marketing campaign have been top tier. However, with my viewing experience, this movie isn't as good as I thought it would be. In fact, the movie reminded me of The Flash from DC. A multiverse movie with a ton of cameos and the plot wafer thin. The plot of any movie must be the best part of it, but what happens when the story is as weak as a DC movie?
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
The story started with Deadpool running away from the TVA because the TVA chose him to join their squad. And his timeline would be erased along with his family and friends and his stripper girlfriend who dumped him for not being a superhero. Why is his timeline being erased, you ask? Well, it's because Wolverine sacrificed himself in Logan. Yep, the plot is that thin. Now Deadpool decides to hunt for the perfect Wolverine across multiple timelines using a mobile device that he stole from the TVA. So he could save his timeline by replacing the dead Wolverine using another Logan. In his journey, my dude finds many versions of Wolverines.
Look at this little Harry Lou Retton. Did you stick the landing, little guy? Yes, you did, comic accurate short king.
From comic accurate short Wolverine to Henry Cavill's version of Wolverine. Oh yes, Henry Cavill, who played Superman in DC, does play a version of Wolverine for about 10 seconds in the movie. Reminded me of Brad Pitt's cameo in Deadpool 2. Soon Deadpool finds himself the perfect Wolverine, a drunkard Wolverine who has no aims in life, nor does he have any interest in being a superhero. My dude has a weak backstory, where his X-Men died while he was away drinking. This exposition is dumped on us during the third act of the movie when Logan dumps the exposition onto Laura X-23. Oh yes, she's in the film, but her character was revealed in the final trailer. Marvel was so exited that they revealed a major character like DC did with their Flash movie trailers. How stupid of them to spoil the surprises of the movie.
But why? Why would you do that? Why would you do any of that?
Now next in Deadpool and Wolverine, both of our main leads get pruned and sent to the Void. Oh yes, the same Void from Loki TV show. Most of the runtime is spent in the Void, where Deadpool and Wolverine has to fight other evil mutants to get make to the real world. The fight between Wolverine and Deadpool was the best fight scene from the whole movie. Way better than the action scenes from X-Men Origins. Wolverine, there was slow-motion fight scenes, a bit of Zack Snyderisms. The entire Loki TV show was set in the Void. It felt cheap. When a mainstream Marvel movie worth $300 million also takes place inside the Void from a TV show. Now in Loki Season 1 and 2 we saw that Alioth the monster ruled the Void along with a version of Kang, and now after Season 2 of Loki we know that it's the God of Mischief who is the ruler of the Void in all timelines. We only saw versions of Loki in the TV show, but in Deadpool 3 there were different versions of Deadpools and other Marvel characters, mainly mutants. The Void in this movie was ruled by Professor Charles Xavier's evil twin Cassandra Nova, who could kill Thanos the Mad Titan with a single snap of her fingers. She was super overpowered and just simply evil. Her minions were other X-Men like Toad and Azazel. They had no meaningful role through the movie. They were Cassandra's goon for hire, nothing more. Now just like Deadpool 1 and 2, Ryan Reynolds builds his own team to fight Cassandra and to escape from the Void using her powers, so my dude puts together more cameos. Wesley Snipes as Blade, Jennifer Garner as Elektra, Channing Tatum as Gambit, along with Daphne Keane as X-23 from Logan. How did all these characters get together? Well, you see, Ryan Reynolds has worked with all of them before, so he dialed their numbers for quick cameos. Oh, I forgot to mention Chris Evans, who showed up as Human Torch to grab a quick paycheck like he did in Free Guy, another friend of Ryan Reynolds.
What the shit?
So in the end, they figured as a team they could block Cassandra's powers using Juggernaut's helmet, and that's exactly what they did, though later on they removed the helmet because without the helmet she couldn't help them get home. So yes, the entire fight scene was for nothing. All they needed was her to change her mind and be a good person. Logan even emotionally dumps her with Charles Xavier would ever hurt another mutant crap, which she bought and let the two escape through a Doctor Strange portal. Don't ask, it's the multiverse, they could do whatever they want. There was an entire side plot of the Fire Guy trying to become the Void boss by killing Cassandra, useless plot. Now I thought the movie would end here, but no, Ryan Reynolds, who also co-wrote the movie, had other plans. You see them escaping from the Void caused Cassandra to show up later with her new evil plan of destroying all timelines and becoming the Void boss again. I know, it doesn't make any sense. Again, let me remind you, the weakest point of Deadpool and Wolverine is the plot. Now Cassandra shows up like Thanos, who wanted to destroy everything in Endgame.
I will shred this universe down to its last atom. And then, with the stones you've collected for me, create a new one.
Cassandra tried to destroy all timelines using a goober, which backfires because Deadpool and Wolverine joined hands once again to stop her using science or whatever. It was stupid. I don't know how to explain it. They did a Spider-Man or a Guardians of the Galaxy to stop evil Charles Xavier's evil twin. Oh, did I mention Deadpool and Wolverine had to fight multiple versions of Deadpool who for some reason works for Cassandra? Yes, the plot is stupid. At the end, after beating Cassandra and evil Deadpools, the two leads does a Fast and Furious, where they have lunch with their friends, or like Vin Diesel would say, family. The best parts of the movie were the banters between Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman. These two had the best buddy comedy chemistry, reminded me of Lethal Weapons or Rush Hour.
My daddy once caught a bullet with his bare hands.
My daddy'll kick your daddy's ass.
It's the only saving grace in the film. The rest of the movie was crap. All the cameos felt lame and not funny or cool. I felt bad for Blade. Dude looked skinny and old. Gambit wasn't funny. Laura X-23 had no meaningful character arc or growth. The other X-Men had no role. They were all there because Marvel needed fans to show up. Nostalgia always wins. Look at Sony's Spider-Man 3 No Way Home. That made $2 billion, right? No wrong. Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield had character growth. They didn't show up for being in the movie. Their characters had meaning. Andrew Garfield saving Mary Jane, and Tobey Maguire saving Green Goblin from his own blades. They were important to the plot of the movie, unlike mutants in Deadpool and Wolverine. Why was Chris Evans in the movie? Oh, because paycheck. No other reason. I wish the story was better. I wish these characters could have more impact, like Spider-Man No Way Home. The film here felt forced and not that important to the larger MCU other than Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds becoming major players in future MCU movies.
I'm the Messiah. I am Marvel Jesus.
Is Deadpool 3, Deadpool and Wolverine a must-watch? Or is this another garbage content from Disney? Well, the answer is that it's another streaming content from Marvel and Disney. The story, the action, except the camaraderie between the two leads, everything else felt cheap and cartoonish. The movie felt as cheap as Gambit's superhero costume, garbage. Should you spend your valuable money and watch Deadpool and Wolverine in theaters? Yes, if you want to watch an adult gory action comedy movie with your friends and family. If not, this is another streaming movie that will show up on Disney Plus within 2 months. This movie isn't as good as Spider-Man 3 No Way Home, but it's better than Ant-Man 3 or The Eternals. I'd say it's as good as The Flash from DC.
No. No. Hell no. No. I refuse. No.
Too long, too many unfunny jokes, too many cameos, too lame and forgettable villains. Deadpool and Wolverine is yet another multiverse comic book movie that proves multiverse and different versions of the same character is overplayed and by now too boring and uninteresting. I'd give Deadpool 3 a solid 7 out of 10 points. Did you like the movie? Do you think it's worth our time? Or is it yet another cash grab content from Disney? What did you like about Deadpool and Wolverine? Comment below. Like and share the video with your friends if you agree with me. Bye, my friends.